Hi everybody. Gosh, it's so glary in here. Sorry, I was rather unceremoniously disconnected just then from the chanting. But here I am back in my little cubby corner. Hello, hello. Please say hello if you're there. Let me see if I'm going to say a little hello. Sometimes that makes it possible for me to see other people's messages. So how are you all going? I'm sorry I wasn't here yesterday. Honestly, I think I was asleep all day. Oh no, I was asleep all day after the hi Francois. Je fais un Facebook Live. It's one of our friends here at the lake. Anyway, I was blown away energetically by all the work that we did together on the dark moon ceremony and then the new moon. Just been pretty intense around here. And yesterday, honestly, I think I thought it was, ciao. I think I thought it was Sunday. So I'm sorry I wasn't here. Anyway, it's all been very, very intense at the moment. I don't know. Kind of wish it would just calm down a bit. So what am I going to tell you about today? Well, the first thing I'm going to tell you about, I'm going to tell you about this Indian thing that I'm doing, if anybody wants to do it, because a lot of people have said they'd like to do it, so I've given you information in the description. I'm going to give you a card, and also I'm going to tell you about how to get a reading from me, a personal one-on-one reading. So let us start by talking about the Indian workshop that's coming up. And can I just say, there's no affiliate fees. I get nothing from this apart from the joy of knowing that other people are getting joy from doing the course. Quite recently, I did a course in India, was online. So let me just tell you a little story about my Indian connection, okay? So about, I don't know, like 15 years ago, I was in Sydney, Australia, at Bondi Beach at what was then called Brown Sugar Cafe on Brighton Boulevard, those of you who know it. And I was having a coffee with a girlfriend, KJ Air, and there was this guy there that I kind of knew called Nadav, and I kind of knew him from the Bondi scene, which was quite a scene back then, I must say. And he was actually friends with a whole lot of the people from Gomez, if you know that band, which I only thought of that now because I was listening to Gomez on Spotify yesterday, and I've forgotten what an amazing band they were. And Nadav is also a super duper talented musician, and so is his brother Idor, and often I play Idor and Joe music. Anyway, so that kind of gives you a context of who these guys are. Anyway, so I didn't know Nadav terribly well at that time. And I was talking to my friend Karen Jane, and I was saying, you know, the thing is that I was living in Paris, and I was back in Bondi for like the summer. And I was like, the thing is, I've sublet my apartment in Paris, as you do, and now I've sublet my apartment in Bondi. And there's an overlap, and for 5 weeks, I don't have anywhere to live because I've sublet both my places. And so I was thinking, I might go to India. Maybe I'll go to India. And KJ was like, yeah, sure, why not? And I was like, you know, I might go and do a bit of yoga. I'd been to India and I'd done some reviews of some places in India. Yoga places. So I thought, well, maybe I'll do that. Anyway, Nadav, we're at this big communal table, and Nadav had been sort of half listening, as you do when you're at a big communal table. And he leaned over and he said, hi, Yasmin. I'm like, oh, hi, Nadav, how are you? And he's like, good, good. He said, did you say you're going to go to India? And I said, yeah, I did, yeah. And he said, oh, you should go and see Narayani Amma. And I'm like, who's Narayani Amma? And he said, well, Amma's an avatar. Do you know what that is? Yeah, I do actually know what an avatar is, which is, I'll let you discover it for yourself. And he said, oh, right, well, you should go. And he just gave me on the spot and said, just person, it was Deborah, and said, you know, just drop her a line and she'll tell you what to do and you can go there. And I'm like, sure, why not? So I went back to my flat. I said, see you later, Karen Jane Eyre. And, sorry, KJ, I didn't mean to name you then. And I said see you later to KJ, and went up to my flat, and I rang the airline to sort of try and sort out what I was going to do now that I'd decided I was going to go to India, because I had nowhere to live because I'd rented everywhere out. And I rang the airline. They're like, well, you know, it's a really big drama if you want to change your ticket. And I was thinking, because maybe I'd go to this place that I'd been to on the West Coast. Anyway, cut a long story short, everything fell completely into place for me in 2.5 nanoseconds to go to the ashram. So I thought, okay, well, I know when I'm getting signs from the universe, I'll go to the ashram. So I went to the ashram. I flew to India. I saw this amazing rainbow on the day that I was flying there, which is a story for another time, because it matched up with something else that happened later, which was to do with falling in love and finding my true love and having my beautiful son. And but anyway, the long and the short of it was, I got to India, went to this crazy ashram, which I still go to on and off. It's the most amazing place I've ever been. It's inexplicable. And I remember actually about a week into my stay, we're there with the teacher, Narayani and Narayani was cooking us lunch. Amma loves to cook. And Amma said to me, Yasmin took just 10 days to come here. Some people, I call them, and they take 10 years. I remember thinking, well, there you go. So that's basically how I ended up going to the ashram. I initially planned to stay for 5 days, and I had 5 weeks to fill in. I was going to go to this other place on the other side of India, and I got there and I thought, wow, no way can I leave here. Like, even just the investigative journalist in me was like, what the heck is this place? It was just the craziest place. Like, all these amazing coincidences, everything you needed, you kind of would say what you needed and suddenly it would appear, and it was just the most extraordinary place. So yeah, that was my first time there, and I stayed there for 5 weeks, and I've been going there on and off ever since. Okay, so that's the story. And I know the place, you know, the money, I know where the money goes to. When we give money, it goes to they've built a big hospital where they give people free treatment if they need it. They feed, are you ready? They feed about 10,000 people a day. Okay, because people in India don't have much money, you know, and they've got this big kitchen where you know, you can go and help. Although they do say that the Westerners are more we cause more trouble than we do help people when we go to help. Like, can I help? Sure, help, yes, sure. Anyway, and they have like these massive vats of rice, and they lay out all the food on banana leaves, and everybody troops up. So people who've got no money can get food. It is the most extraordinary place, and it changed my life in ways that I can't even begin to tell you. So quite recently, back in the day, you know, you had to fly to India to sort of have any contact with this place. But now with social media being what it is, and everything having kicked off, Sri Shakti Narayani Amma is actually now doing online courses from time to time. And they just did a course which was called Shakti Dara, which means raining down of blessings, which was amazing. But it actually cost $1,000. Okay, so it wasn't cheap. It was expensive, and I didn't really tell anyone about it because I sort of thought, I mean, it seemed kind of appropriate to tell people after chanting, but I didn't want people to think I was like setting them up to, oh, now give me all your money, you know. So I didn't really tell anyone about it, and a couple of people said, oh, well, I would have loved to have done it. It was amazing. Okay, it was amazing. It was 2 hours a day for 10 days with Sri Shakti Narayani Amma, chanting, and then lessons where I just took copious amounts of notes. And so that was great. But now what they're doing is another one, different. And this one, and actually this one's being held, I think, largely to pay the wages of all the people who, what they call it, green Shakti. So it's the temple is on this, like in this really remote town, little town in India. Like, it's become bigger because of, you know, business has just boomed around it because it's just got that high vibration, and it's attracted people from all over the world and all over the country, and you know, there's the business, it has changed since I've been there. But basically, you know, a lot of those people with COVID-19, they haven't got jobs. And a lot of the people in particular who look after the temple and, you know, who keep the grounds green, you know, because it's rural India, they don't have any money. So, you know, obviously the Narayani Amma is doing what's possible to support them. But also, this is, I think the money's going there, but don't hold me to it. You know, they give money to people who need operations, who can't afford it, or, you know, as a way to kind of pay for the costs of the operation. Then they can get free healthcare at the hospital and so on. There's a school, blah, blah, blah. It's really amazing. Big waste thing. They reforest. It's amazing what they do. Anyway, so this course, if anybody wants to join me, it's actually slightly different. So the last one was 10 days and you had to pay for the whole thing and do the whole thing. Like, you basically, if you signed up, you were meant to do the whole thing. But this one is actually going to be for 48 days, and no one's expected to do all 48 days, although you can if you want to. And every session is about, I think, 54 Australian dollars. I think it's what it is. So it's really affordable. Like, it's, you know, even if you just do one day, it will blow your mind, I'm sure. I've got no idea what's in store. I've never done this course before, but I've put a bit of, I pasted a bit of the description from the email that I received at the top of this thing today, this post on Facebook. So if you want to read about it, you can read about it there. And I just wanted to share it with everyone. As I said, there's no affiliate, there's no kickback, there's no commission, there's no nothing. It's literally just if you're interested. It'll be a thing of learning. It's actually a lot about COVID-19. I think Amma's kind of bringing in the big guns. We've been chanting for COVID-19 for months now, and it's been a way to kind of send out good energy to ourselves, our family and our friends, especially in a kind of a small macro way. And now this big chant is coming from Amma. And it's a massive Sanskrit chant, and I said this the other day, but I was told that mere mortals like you and I cannot do this chant. So we won't be chanting along, we will be listening, because apparently this chant is so powerful, it will fry our circuits. That's what I was told. I don't know about that. I wasn't told that by Amma. I was told that by someone else who goes to the ashram. So it might just be Chinese whispers, but it sounds kind of funny. It sounds like a good story. So there you go. If you would like to join up, I'm actually going to do day one. So far I've booked for day one, and I've also booked for July 28, which is the day my new diary comes out, which I have a copy of here handily. Because I thought, well, I'd really like to do something with Sri Shakti Narayani Amma on the day the diary comes out, which is July 28. And we have sold so many of these diaries. The book, it's doing so well. So I want to thank you so much to everybody who's ordered it. I'm really touched by your support. I know that not everybody wants to buy a diary for 2021 in July 2020. I hope you've enjoyed all the masterclasses and the new moon ceremonies and so on that we've done to thank people who've bought the book. And I did introduce one last kind of way of saying thank you yesterday, and we're actually upping the ante on that. We're making it even more kind of, even a bigger thing. We're doing one last competition. The book comes out on July 28, so I'm going to be doing 2 hours with Amma that day, but I'll also be doing lots of stuff about the diary coming out. And we've launched a competition which should be up tomorrow. I'll tell you if and when it is, which is to win a reading with me, which I never do readings for people like people I don't know. I basically do readings for friends of mine and family members if they want them, and people I work with. I consider it part of my, you know, my seva, S-E-V-A, which is the concept that I learned in India, which is basically giving back. So I do that, but I don't really do that many paid readings. So if you'd like a reading with me, astrology and or oracle cards, or just to talk about manifesting on the phone, we can just have a good old chat, or whatever you want. I think I'm going to have to give you the URL tomorrow. Or I think Can I think of the URL? I don't think I can. I'm really sorry. So after saying all that, I'll try and put the link in above afterwards. But we're actually launching the competition for real tomorrow. So if you've already entered, that's fine. But we're doing a bigger thing where we're going to be giving away decks of my Moonology cards. We're going to give away copies of my Moonology book and a reading, a one-on-one reading